Hello guys, Timmy Trickle coming back at you again with another top 10, or in this case a top 20 list. I'm giving you my top 20 comedies of the 1990s. And yes, I'm going to try and make this video as short as possible. The last one ran about 28 minutes. So without further ado, I'm going to give you my top 20 comedies of the 1990s. Coming at number 20 is Multiplicity. Michael Keaton. It's fantastic in this movie, playing multiple roles. This is one of the most underrated movies in the 1990s, in my opinion. For him and the special effects to do what they did for this movie is groundbreaking, in my opinion. And it's got a lot of classic scenes, quotes, and Andie MacDowell is in this movie. She's hilarious. The side characters are funny. But most of all, Michael Keaton steals this movie. Check out Multiplicity. Number 19 is Hot Shots. It's a parody of, yes, Top Gun, among other movies. Charlie Sheen delivers just topper Harley. And you have Carrie Elwes. You have John Cryer in this movie. He plays Washout, and he's one of my favorite characters in this movie. Lloyd Bridges is in this movie. He is hilarious. This movie is a great parody of Top Gun and other movies. One I highly recommend. One of Charlie Sheen's best, in my opinion, definitely top 10. But yeah, check out Hot Shots. It's great. Number 18 is Wayne's World. Wayne's World. Yes, based off the Saturday Night Live skit. You have Wayne's World. Mike Myers, Dana Carvey play the two lead roles. They have their TV show in their basement, and it has great ratings. But some big TV league wants to come in and take them national. But instead, he tries to break up a relationship with Wayne and his girl, and she is freaking gorgeous in this movie. It's got Rob Lowe and a few other cameos in this movie. I think Chris Farley is in both of these. I believe he's in this one as well. But it is a funny movie. Ed O'Neill's in this movie. Works behind the counter in the donut shop. It's got classic lines. Of course, the classic headbanging singing in the car. Just a funny movie. Check out Wayne's World. The sequel is funny as well, but the first one, classic. Number 17, Kevin Smith's Clerks. I've never seen this movie before up until a few years ago, and when I finally watched it, I loved it. I loved the sequel, but I never had seen the first movie. I love the first movie. Great quotable lines. It is hysterical from start to finish. Kevin Smith, it's one of his best movies, and I love the fact that he does it in black and white, but the comedy is on point, and the characters are great. It's just a fun movie, made with hardly any budget, but made a lot of money. Yeah, and it's just a classic. Great, great movie. Coming number 16 is Robin Hood Men in Tights, Mel Brooks. God, I love this man. It's a parody of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, of course. And it is so funny. It follows Robin and his merry men as they're trying to defeat the bad taxes that has been levied on their lands. And you have great characters, great cast. It's just a funny movie. Mel Brooks, of course, makes a cameo in this movie. Carrie Elwes is freaking awesome. And my favorite character is Blinken. He is a blind man who was a servant to Robin of Locksley. But it is a funny movie. Great dance scenes. The scenes in the forest when the guys are singing the song and then Robin sings the song to Maid Marian. Classic. But the movie from start to finish is phenomenal. It's underrated in my opinion. I don't think it's as appreciated as some of his other work, but it is hilarious and I love it. Check out Robin Hood Men in Tights. Number 15 is Liar Liar. Jim Carrey at his best. Carrie Elwes in this movie as well. He plays the perfect going to be or want to be stepfather in this movie. But Jim Carrey, it's classic Jim Carrey. The pen is blue. The pen is blue. Yeah, it's a lot of quotable lines. My favorite scene, of course, is in the elevator. He's talking to the woman with the nice upper top, and yeah, just just an hysterical scene. The bloopers are hilarious. Looks like they were having a lot of fun doing this movie, and Jim Carrey, Jennifer Tilly is fantastic. Yeah, it's got a great cast, and it's a great movie. It's one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies of all time. Check out Liar Liar. Number 14 is That Thing You Do. Oh man, the soundtrack of this movie is great. Tom Hanks wrote some of these songs for the movie. Basically, it's about this group of teenagers who form a band called the Wonders, and they have they start to have a hit, and so they are taken off on tour to do a lot of things to broaden their career and to expand it. But like with any group, things start to unfold, and if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alerts, but they become a one-hit wonder. The band breaks up. There's lying, cheating, just all this different stuff, and but it's got a great cast. Tom Everett Scott, Ethan Embry, Steve Zahn, and Tom Hanks is not only co-star but director, writer of this movie as well. And it's a great movie. And That Thing You Do and Come On are great songs, and I still listen to them to this day. This movie was made in 1996, I believe. So check out That Thing You Do. You will love it. Number 13 is Kingpin. Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid. Need I say more? This is a great movie, and it has to center around bowling, which is one of my favorite things to do, or used to be one of my favorite things to do. And he is the character Munson, who, after some success early on in his career bowling, is down on his luck, scamming bowling alleys and trying to skip out on his rent. Tries to find a successor to him so he could win some money, pay his rent, and have a nice life. Well, he ends up running into an Amish man, Randy Quaid, at the bowling alley one day, and from there, a lot of hysterical things happen. Bill Murray is in this movie as well. He is the nemesis to Munson's character and is responsible for what happens to him early on in the first act. But this movie is hysterical. Randy Quaid, Bill Murray, and Woody Harrelson steal this movie. They're freaking awesome. I love the characters, the direction, just everything about this movie. Check out Kingpin. You won't be disappointed. Coming to number 12 is A League of Their Own. One of my favorite baseball movies. Gina Davis, Laura Petty, Tom Hanks, Bill Pullman. This is a great movie about the one-time All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which was put together by several owners while the guys were off fighting the war. They wanted baseball to continue. So they gathered the 100 best baseball players, women from around the country, brought them to Wrigley Field, which is Harvey Field, but they bring them there to try out. And there's only going to be, I believe, 36 girls They're going to make 4 teams, starting off with 4 teams. But eventually, the league did grow, ended up having more teams, and then some teams folded. But it ended up lasting, I believe, 10 to 12 years. And they are actually in the Baseball Hall of Fame. They have their own section. I love this tribute for those women who played a game that they were told they couldn't play, and they were great. These ladies could play some ball. I love the characters, especially on the Peaches. You have a lot of Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna, like I said, Lori Petty, Gina Davis, Tom Hanks is a former great baseball player who is managing the Peaches, and it's a great movie, great baseball movie. Check out A League of Their Own. Number 11 is Happy Gilmore, a golf movie, one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. You have Carl Weathers. You have great characters in this movie. Shooter McGavin is a great nemesis for Happy Gilmore. You have a lot of Sandler's friends in the movie, of course, like a lot of his movies. Kevin Nealon is at the beginning of the movie, the first act, which is funny. Just tap it in. Give it a little tapping. But it is a funny movie. Like I said, it's one of Sandler's best, one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. And a great sports movie, in my opinion. The best part is with the fight with Bob Barker. Classic scene. Definitely check out Happy Gilmore. Color number 10 is Austin Powers and the Spy Who Shagged Me. Yes, this is my favorite movie in the trilogy. It is the second movie in the trilogy. I love all 3 movies, don't get me wrong, but the second one is the best. Heather Graham as his girl in this movie. I love Heather Graham. Oh my God. Don't get me wrong, the other women in the movies were fantastic. Beyonce Knowles for Gold Member, and then Elizabeth Hurley, I believe, for International Man of Mystery. But Spy Who Shagged Me is great. We get to introduce to new characters: Fat Bastard, Mini-Me. Scott is great. Seth Green. Mike Myers plays multiple roles. Like I said, Heather Graham. It's just a great movie. It's hysterical. A lot of great characters, and it's a great spy movie spoof, in my opinion. And I really wish they would make a 4th movie. If Mike was to come out and do another movie, do another Austin Powers movie, or maybe another Shrek movie or something like that. But Austin Powers, Spy Who Shagged Me, cracked the top 10 at number 10. Funny movie. Number 9 is Groundhog's Day. If you haven't seen Groundhog's Day, I don't know what you're doing, but Harold Ramis wrote this, and he has a small part in it. Bill Murray stars along with Annie McDowell, who go to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, to do the groundhog ceremony, and he gets stuck in a loop where the day repeats. And as the days repeat, it gets more hysterically funny, but he also learns a lot about himself and learns to appreciate and love those that are around him. And I love that message in this movie. And because in the beginning of the movie, he is all about himself, and he learns to care for others and treat others with respect and care. And that's what I love about this movie. And we actually have a movie that's based on Groundhog Day. And that is the one and only, and it's a fantastic movie. And I highly recommend it. The number 9 on my list. Number 8 is Rush Hour. Rush Hour, Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, and it is an hysterical buddy cop movie. Chris Tucker is assigned to the FBI to watch after Lee, played by Jackie Chan, because they're trying to solve a kidnapping case That involves a very high-powered man from China, and he wants Inspector Lee, to come and help with the investigation, but the FBI doesn't want him near him, so they bring in Carter to basically just run him all over town and just to keep him out of the way. This is a great movie. Jackie Chan, of course, does all his stunts. He is phenomenal. He is really funny. This was the second movie I've seen of his in the 90s. The first one being Rumble in the Bronx, which is a cult classic, great movie. But Rush Hour, great buddy comedy, and it spawned 2 sequels, which I absolutely adore. The second one being my favorite, but nonetheless a great trilogy and a great movie. Coming number 7 is Men in Black. Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith. Who would have thought they would have made a great pairing for a movie? But they did. They pulled it off. They do a great job. Tommy Lee Jones is basically an officer of alien activity and monitoring for Earth. And he needs a new partner. His other partner is retiring because of his age. They have all these funny toys and gadgets. Will Smith is an actual cop, and he is running down an alien, which he doesn't know at the time is an alien, on foot. And that impresses Tommy Lee Jones. So he brings him in, along with other guys, to give him this test. And it's hysterical. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones were fantastic in this movie. It spawned 2 sequels, which I love the second movie. I wasn't really fond of the third movie because we didn't get to see a whole lot of Tommy Lee Jones, which I thought the movie was just pointless. I like Josh Brolin, but I just didn't like the movie. I didn't like anything about it, really. But the first Men in Black is a classic, a great, funny, buddy movie. Check it out. Number 6 is the greatest stoner movie, in my opinion. That is Dazed and Confused. It takes place on the last day of school. You have incoming freshmen who are being hounded by the seniors, the new seniors, and they are looking to paddle their asses and basically torture them for the summer and welcome them into high school. Same thing with the ladies. The ladies do it a different way, though. There's a lot of hazing and everything, which you can't do nowadays. I mean, it's just crazy. But that's what they did during this time. And if I was living during that time, I would have had a hell of a time. I would have had a lot of fun. But Dazed and Confused, Jason London, Cole Hauser, Matthew McConaughey, Ben Affleck. You got a great cast and great characters and a great story. It is a huge cult classic, and it wasn't big at the box office, but ever since then, everyone talks about this movie. I love it. It's one of my favorites, and one of my dad's favorites as well. I know that. Shout out to my dad. Number 5 is Office Space. Yeah, I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great. Okay? Oh, and I'm also going to need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday, too. We lost a few people, so we need to play catch-up. So, yeah. But thanks, Peter. Yeah. Great movie, great quotable lines. You have Gary Cole, who's my favorite character in the movie. Basically, these guys, Ron Livingston, they sit in this cubicle all day updating bank software for the 2000 switch because there was going to be a crisis. And so they're doing all this. And one day he gets hassled by 8 different people about not having his cover sheet for his TPS reports. And anyone who's had multiple bosses will understand his frustration with that. And I've been in that position before. I remember working Precision Products. We had several different bosses. not only on the floor but up in the offices and stuff. And it was Precision Products was the worst job I ever had, and I feel for Livingston's character in this movie, and it's just one of those cult classic movies. It's hysterical. You have great characters. The whole problem with the fax machine is great. Um, the whole Milton situation is fantastic. But I love this movie. It is a classic. 1999. You also have Jennifer Aniston, who I absolutely love and adore. I said that a million times, but I love her. But yeah, Office Space, great movie. Number 4, Friday. Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, Tiny Lister Jr. You have Brian Cox, Bernie Mac. You have a lot of great characters in this movie. Bye, Felicia. There's a lot of quotable lines in this movie. Craig is down on his luck. He lost his job. And basically, it's him and his buddy sitting on the porch on one Friday. And a lot of funny things ensue, happen. Like I said, it's got great quotable lines. It is a great stoner movie, too. But it is a great, funny comedy. Nia Long in this movie is flat out gorgeous. I recently just watched her in the last season of NCIS Los Angeles. She was on there for that entire season. She is still gorgeous. I love her. I really wish they would have kept her character going, but she was just there for the one season, and she did a great job. And I can't wait to see her in other projects. But Friday, John Witherspoon as Craig's dad is fantastic. And I smelled your shit for 22 years. Now you can smell mine for 5 minutes. But his character, his dad's character, reminds me of my dad. And yeah, it's just hysterical. The word of the day is job. J-O-B. You hear me? Great movie, great lines. Check out Friday if you haven't seen it. Then something's wrong with you. Coming number 3 is My Cousin Vinny. This movie, Joe Pesci. I love him. This is Ralph Macchio. Marissa Tomei. She won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in this movie. All three are hysterical. The side characters, the judge. I love everything about this movie. So many quotable lines. The court scenes are the best. And don't forget the 2 Utes. 2 what? Did you just say Utes? Well, what's a Ute? Oh, sorry, Judge. The 2 U's. Now, is it possible the 2 defendants? And when he shoots them that look, that is hysterical. Oh my God, I love that. It's my favorite part in the movie. But My Cousin Vinny is a great movie. It's about 2 kids going to cross country to their college, and they get accused of murder. And so he brings in his cousin Vinny to defend him. And it's a great movie, classic. Check it out if you haven't seen My Cousin Vinny. Number 2 is Dumb and Dumber. Jeff Daniels, Jim Carrey, a great cast of characters. It is hysterical. This movie is about 2 dimwits, Harry and Lloyd, who are returning a briefcase to Mary Swanson, which they don't know contains something in it that is valuable. And they're taking it across country to Aspen, Colorado to return this briefcase. And along the way, they get into a lot of mischief. My favorite scene in the movie, and this is a spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, but my favorite scene is when the cop pulls them over and asks them if they've been doing drinking, which they have open containers, but he doesn't know they are filled with urine. And he goes to take a swig and swishes it around his mouth and swallows it. And the look on Daniels and Carrie's face, and the line that comes out that says, "Tic tac, sir," and the guy's like, "Get the hell out of here!" It's a great. That's my favorite scene in the movie. But this is a great movie from start to finish. Definitely check out Dumb and Dumber. The long-awaited sequel that we waited for, we should have just been put away, and it shouldn't have happened. They waited way too long to do a sequel. But the original movie is a classic. It is my number two, and on my list of the best comedies of the 90s. Almost could have got number one, but my number one is American Pie, 1999. This movie came out almost a year after I graduated, and I can really connect with this movie like a lot of people could. It is really funny. You got a great young cast. You have Jason Biggs, A.D.K. Thomas, Thomas Ian Nicholas, Chris Klein, Mary Cervoni, Tara Reid, Allison Hannigan. You have a great young cast. Sean William Scott, who got paid like $10 grand to do this movie, which is just ridiculous now. He makes probably $10 million a movie now. But this is a hysterical movie. This is the first of 4 in the franchise that went to theaters, which they're all great. The side projects, side movies, there's only 2 that I liked. The Naked Mile being my favorite of the 4. But the Book of Love is another good one. But this one, the original, is great. Got great classic lines. And yeah, it is my favorite comedy of the 1990s. Had the 4th movie come out, for instance, in the 1990s, it would be my number one, because it's my second favorite right now in the franchise. But I'm thinking about bumping it to number one, but we'll see. But yeah, that is my top 20 favorite comedies of the 1990s. So in the comment section below, tell me, give me some of your favorite comedies of the 90s. Give me a list. Give me a top 10, top 5, whatever you want to do. And did you like my list? Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? Let me know in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. And if you like the video, hit the like button. And share these videos with all your friends. I love talking movies and TV, top 10s and rankings. So I am a horror fan for life. Come back and check me out anytime. But other than that, I thank you for watching this top 20 countdown. And I'll see you guys next time. Check you later.